Well, hello and welcome to another Faith, Philosophy and Life. Me, Mr. Shelton. I do hope that you're doing well and you and your families are fine as well. Today we are continuing to think about ethics. We've been doing a little bit of a unit where we've been thinking about some big issues in the world. Last lesson we looked at CAFOD, and today we're going to look at Christian Aid, which is a different charity but also very similar in other ways. The first thing I'd like you to do is to write down for me as many charities that you can think of. Okay, simple as that. Write down as many charities as you can think of. See if you can try and get to 20. And I'm going to throw an extra challenge in because I'm going to put our cheesy intro music in while you do this. So, how many charities can you come up with in the next minute? Cue the cheesy intro music. Go. Okay, so hopefully you've got that done, and that was quite challenging, and the whole point is you can obviously pause me when you go because cheating's fine on this occasion. So our title today is Christian Aid, and today we're going to explore how Christian Aid works to help others as well. So as always to say, do pause me, do make sure that you get all of your work sent through to your teachers, because obviously we're a nosy bunch and we like to see what you've done. It's going to be a good outcome if you could retell the core facts around Christian Aid. It's going to be great if you can apply the core facts to an evaluation style question, and even better if you can show how you can improve your answer as well. So our spelling focus is unfamiliar words because we need to make sure we really get those boxed off, and we're also doing a bit of spiritual and moral reflection. Spiritual as in why people believe what they do and what you think and why. During today's lesson then, we've got a media clip, we're going to watch some 6Ws, do some 6Ws, sorry, a card sort, a Christian Aid leaflet, an evaluation question, and then we're going to review the 6Ws as well. There is a link below me in the description, please make sure you access that. That's got everything you need in it for today's session, and I'm going to guide you through that as we go. So to start off with, I want you to think about why someone might set up a charity. Now, this is a really hard question, especially with my second caveat, which is try and come up with 12 reasons. Within a class, you might stand half a chance of doing that, but you never know. Some of you might be able to do that anyway. So give me a pause and then come up with answers to a question as why might someone set up a charity, and can you come up with, I don't know, maybe 5 reasons why someone might start a charity. See what you can do and then come back to me. So pause me now. Okay, so the next task that I want you to do is I want you to put this mind map in your books or your note paper. You're going to need an A4 page, a whole A4 page. So it's sort of landscape, that's the word I'm after, or a double page if you're desperate to write lots, and we are going to keep coming back to that throughout this session. You're going to need to glue things around it as well, so you're going to need a fairly large bit of paper to help you. So in the middle of your mind map, you're going to write the word 6Ws, and then what you're going to do is around those 6Ws, around that mind map, you're going to put these 6 things. Now these 6 things don't have to be written exactly as they are here, so you could start with why, who, what, difference, when, where, and what do they do, if you didn't want to write the whole lot out. So it's basically who, what, why, where, when, but 2 whats. One is what do they do, and the other one is what difference do they make. So get that written out. You don't have to write anything down yet, but just get that scripted down and then come back to me. So pause me now. Okay, so the next thing that I'd like you to do is to now, around your mind map, write down anything you know about any of those already about Christian Aid. So you know who they are already, so you can write that down because I've already told you what their name is. And then see what else you can come up with. And anything you leave blank, don't worry, we are going to come back to this. You're going to keep adding information to this mind map as we go. So let's just get that done and then come back to me. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is got a media clip for you to watch. I'd like you just to watch this, and around your mind map, add some more information and see what else you can add. So let's watch this now, and this is from Christian Aid's own promotion, and then write down around it things that you now know that you didn't know previously that you can then put around your mind map. So let's do that, and then come back to me.
Christian Aid is on a journey. It's on a journey to build a world free from poverty and need. We stand together for a world built on love, dignity, equality, and justice. Our work is focused on 3 pillars: poverty, power, and prophetic voice. We work with some of the poorest of the poor in some of the hardest to reach places across the world. We collaborate with nearly 500 partner organizations in more than 30 countries to deliver life-saving programs. Extreme poverty robs people of their dignity and denies them their rights. It renders them powerless, unrepresented, and vulnerable to abuse. In Latin America, we are helping cocoa farmers and honey producers to adapt to climate change and build their yields, giving them the chance to take control over their financial futures. When emergencies take place, we are there. Violence in countries like Myanmar and Nigeria has displaced hundreds of thousands of people. With our partners, we provide food, clothing, and medical care to those most affected by insurgency and political violence. When natural disasters strike in countries like Haiti and the Philippines, our partners and our local teams are among the first on the ground to provide emergency relief and support. We believe that poverty is political. We fight to help people gain that power and reclaim their dignity. Our programs in Ethiopia, in Burkina Faso and Malawi have helped women set up their own businesses, making them financially independent and giving them a greater say in society. And in every district in Sierra Leone, we help local people claim their rights to better services, such as access to water, healthcare, and education. Christian Aid works with those who have been silenced to find their voices. We stand together with people living in despair to speak out against injustice. We create and are part of global movements of people who will speak truth to power. Global movements of people and communities who can secure the changes that are needed. And together, our voices will be heard. We are working tirelessly to make sure that development is sustainable and is not at the expense of the most vulnerable people in our communities. Our work as Christian Aid has never been more important or necessary. So join us now as we stand together to help people live life in its fullness. We believe the almighty power of people can make a world in which dignity, equality, and justice is experienced by everyone.
Okay, so to help with the next task, in the description below you'll have seen a card sort activity. Now I appreciate some of these are a little bit hard to read if I put them on screen, which is why I'm not, that's why I've got them there. And you can type next to these with the phrase who, what, why, where, when and what difference, or you can print those out and chop them up and glue them around your mind map. No point copying them onto your mind map, that will take far too long, but it might give you information you can glean to put down. So what I want you to do now is to access that card sort in the description below. Give that a go, see if you can work out which ones belong to which boxes, get any information around your mind maps written down, and then come back to me. So pause me now. Okay, just in case you were struggling with that, these are my understanding of those. Now, you could probably have something slightly different. Quite often in class, I do have people disagree with some of these, which is absolutely fine. So, when in 1945, after World War II, churches in the UK, they set up Christian Aid. That's when, 1945. Why? Because it relieves the suffering of people. It offers emergency aid through partner organisations. That's what they do. Who? It's one of the biggest international agencies. Why? Because it follows the teachings of Jesus in the New Testament about love God and love people. Where? It improves the life of villagers in poorer countries. What difference does it make? It campaigns to change the rules and systems that keep people poor, on climate change and debt relief. And there's another where there, just over my corner. It works wherever the need is greatest, regardless of religion and race. So that's all information that you can have down as well. So what you'll see we've done so far is we've done our media clip, we've done our 6 W's, done our card sort, and now we're going to move on to the Christian Aid leaflet. Now, I don't know how long you've got left of your lesson, but what I'm going to suggest to you is that you give yourself probably 20-25 minutes to do that, to give yourself 10 minutes at the end, 15 minutes at the end of the lesson maybe. What I'd like you to do is I would like you to again access the information below, and you'll find an information sheet with regards to Christian Aid. What I would need you to do with that, and there's different versions of that. There's one which is a more challenging one, and there's one with a bit more structure. So you need to look at the information leaflet that's there as well, and then you need to complete that leaflet. You can do it on screen and send it through to your teacher, or you can print it off, or you can draw it out yourself if you'd rather. And yeah, so you look at the information leaflet, you extract what you need, and then you're going to put it in your own words. Remember, there's no point copying. So give yourself 15-20 minutes to do that, and then come back to me. Okay, so we are nearly at the end of this session. Disappointing for me, happy for you. This is the question that I'd like you to answer. So you can write the question in your books. It's kind of a hybrid from things that we've done over the last few lessons. People should be taxed so that some of their money goes to charities to help others less fortunate. So it's a simple idea. Government put taxes up, so we have to give some of our money to charity. Okay, it becomes a legal requirement to do it. Do you agree with that? Give reasons or evidence for your answer showing that you've thought of more than one point of view. You must try and include religion's beliefs in your answer. So you might do an argument for, an argument against. We've used this format previously. A third argument maybe, and then your opinion. Okay, so some people think you should because, some people think you shouldn't because, and try and use a quote in there. Now if you look carefully at that information sheet, you will find a quote, or you've also got things like treat others as you like to be treated and love your neighbour and stuff like that. So give yourself 10 to 12 minutes to do that. Make it in as much depth as you can in that time, and we are going to ask that you send that through to your teachers afterwards. So pause me now and let's get that done. Okay, so we're now just going to go over how this could be marked, so you know things that you can look out for to maybe improve in the future. First off, I know this is really small behind me, so I'm going to talk you through it. First off, I want you to think about the use of religious language in there. Can you highlight or put a circle around any terms that you think might be classed as religious or specialist language? So words like Bible, charity, Jesus, Christian Aid, CAFOD, any of those would be classed as injustice, any of those would be religious terms. So go through now and see if you can do that. Okay, the next thing then that I need you to do is to work out, have you got any religious language, any quotes in there? The Bible teaches that, or examples of things. If you have, that's brilliant. You're going to be getting above 9 marks potentially. If you have not, then that needs to be your target for next time, to either work on religious language or to develop your use of quotes. Okay, and the last part of the litmus test for you is, would you say it was poor, limited, good, very good, or excellent? In other words, have you got really fat paragraphs? Are they very thin paragraphs? And whereabouts on that scale would you put yourself? So again, come up with a target for yourself in terms of depth. If it's poor, then it's between 1 and 3 marks. If it's limited, it's between 4 and 6. If you've got 2 points of view which have been sort of generally explained with no quotes, you could still get between 7 and 9. You get between 10 and 12 if it's very good and you've used quotes and religious terms, and you get between 13 and 15 if you'd want to sell it because people would want to copy it. It's that good. So pause me now and come up with a target to improve. So we said this lesson would be good outcome if you could retell the core facts about Christian Aid. I think we've kind of worked on that really well. We said it would be great if you can apply these core facts to an evaluation style question, and that's what we've just done. Even better if you know how you can improve, and as long as you set yourself some targets, that's how we're doing that. So to finish off then, I want you to go back to your mind map, and I want you now to see if there's anything more you can add that you didn't know at the start of the lesson. So that's from the information sheets, from your leaflet, and from that reflection exercise you've just done. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks very much for your time. Take care of yourself, stay safe, wash hands, God bless you, and I'll be seeing you soon.